Well, it's time for truck talk again. You ready to run and gun? It's time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Little truck talk topic today. Should you carry one particular worm in several different colors? Or should you carry, say, one particular color, several different styles of worms? That's that's kind of like a well. That's a deep subject for a shallow mind. I'm kind of splitting the fence on that. I'm putting together to simplify your fishing, and I thought I had the worms down. Oh, until Mr. Twister came out with the Phenom worm and blue fleck and green pumpkin. Back to the drawing board. So my question to me is, well, do I carry Phenoms in about 3 or 4 colors that I know I'll fish? Or do I just carry blue fleck and fish a lot of different worms? You know, different worms put off different vibrations. They put off different, what's the word I'm looking for? Different profiles. They apply different profiles. Some are good in grass, some are good in brush, some are good in open water. And, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is, what do you fish the most? Again, if this comes to simplify your fishing, where you're listening to yourself, always listen to yourself. Don't listen to a video on YouTube, or just because a certain guy is killing them on a certain worm because he's pushing them, because he's got money involved in it, or a TV show because you remember they're sponsored. You don't need to listen to that. You're better off listening to yourself. You're always better off listening to yourself and what your strengths and weaknesses are. One thing I had to admit, I love a Phenom. I have probably caught more bass off a Phenom than I have any other worm. But it's, here the last couple of years, I haven't done very good with it. And I can probably count on one hand how many fish I've caught in that river so far on a Phenom. But there are other worms that I have caught bass on, and ironically, a lot of them are the darker colors. Actually, majority of them are darker colors that I catch my bass off of, whether it's black or blue flake, or blue fleck, or black and blue tail. It's been the darker colors. And even when I was fishing tournaments, it was always the darker worms. That's why I caught my fish on black grape. Oh my gosh, man! Back in the day, on Smith Mountain Lake, where I'm from, man, back when V&M used to make a good worm before they got sold out, this back in the 90s, an 8-inch needleworm, just a straight needleworm in black grape. Mel could not keep them on the rack in the store. We were all buying them, 100 count bags, buddy. 6-inch, if we couldn't get an 8, we'd settle for a 6 and just glue it into it and make it an 8-inch worm out of it. Oh man, that was crazy. So that's something I've been wrestling with. It's like, well, I do love blue fleck. And, what if I carried, say, a Phenom, a Zoom Mag 2, a Zoom Speed worm? Got to have the paddle tail. The June bug that I have, and the Man 6-inch worm, which was their version of a gator tail, which is now discontinued. But I got quite a bunch of them, especially in June bug, which is a real dark color. I think I have electric grape too. I'd be probably more apt to fish electric grape than I would that. I've even got some flip tails back. I've even got some 7 1/4 inch just standard flip tails that I had John pour for me in blue fleck in 100 count. That's just a straight paddle tail, small paddle tail worm. What about the the Berkeley power worm in blue fleck. That's a great brush pile worm. Tube worms are even in blue fleck, which I'd like to get my hands on some of those. That's an oldie but goodie that Cream has come back out with. But like I said, if I did just Phenom, I would probably do 3 or 4 colors. That'd be about it. If I really put my mind to it. But I gotta think too. Telling myself I gotta think. I catch most of my bass off darker worms, especially purple colored worms. So why not carry a vast array of different worms in that blue fleck, or some kind of electric grape? That's a hard pill to swallow. It's also a hard decision to make because I love Phenom. I hadn't changed my mind on that. I mean, if I had one worm to choose to fish a Texas rig from now on, like I did in that video about a year ago, give me a Phenom. I wasn't lying about that. I was being serious. I had a whole crap load of colors in that video, but in that box. But blue fleck would, if I had one color, blue fleck or electric grape, something that's got blue flake and it's purple. Whether it's a black grape color or whether it's just a purple color or something. So who knows? That's a good question, but you need to be serious about yourself. I know a lot of you guys are putting together, you're simplifying, and I've joked around with some guys on email about that. So and so's come out with this new color, or so and so's come out with this new bait. Help me! You know who you are, Mark, and some other guys. And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do, but you got to put your mind into serious mode and really think about what you want to do. Otherwise, you're going to have a freaking tackle box sitting in your truck, in your boat, full of worms that half the time you're not even going to throw them. Well, I'm waiting for that one situation. It'll never happen, dude. Never happen. Or if it does, once a year if you're lucky. In which case, I would just count my losses. But I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to throw that out there to you guys because some of you guys have been asking me about that. And like I said, I do get a lot of emails, I get more emails than I get anything else. And which I love that. And it gives you a chance to do that, plus getting on the phone with a lot of you guys has been really cool. And the same questions. Well, what about worms? Listen to yourself, man. I mean, like I said, I'm straddling the fence on it, but I really had to think about what has been my main colors or main color. And don't get me wrong, I love black and blue tail. Back the first part of the year, I didn't say anything to you about this to you guys, but back the first of the year, I was actually debating on, and I did it for about a month. I just threw black, blue, or silver. That's all I threw. When it came to crankbaits, worms, jigs, flukes, didn't matter. Sluggos, didn't matter. Either black or blue, or a combination of both, or silver, combination of all three. I did that for about a month, almost 2 months. And you could probably go back on the water deals, those videos, and see where I was throwing lures like that. I just never say anything to you because, like I said, I was experimenting. And didn't catch any more fish I normally do. Actually, I think I probably caught less. So, experiment. But be true to yourself when it comes to that. So, one worm, many colors, or one color, many worms. Like I said, I'm almost there. I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do, but I can't guarantee it. Because I'm a bass fisherman just like you. And ain't nothing guaranteed, Sparky. So that's all I've got there, guys. I just wanted to run that by you. So until next time, remember, new techniques are trendy, but bass never change. May the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. And as always, fish on.